So in relation to, again, talking about him reading so slowly, breaking on those words, so it's going to affect that reading fluency. And so again, we're back in the low range. He had a 71 there. And so again, all of those three things sort of work in combination with each other. If basic reading, and that makeup includes phonemic awareness, that's awareness of sounds, his memory of the letters that go with the sound, which is phonemic awareness, identifying the letters themselves, phonological awareness, all those things sort of go together, and so kind of all encompassing. They will all affect the other. Next, math calculation. So again, right here in this assessment, we try to test how quickly he can complete basic math facts. And again, with him being this is his second year in third grade, we would expect a higher score there. We're at 84. Again, that's still within the average range, but once we get past 85, it's considered a deficit. So slightly below, and he, some of those little minor things, it could have been the day, it could have been, but at any rate, we were expecting him to do a little bit better. The same with math problem solving. He's right again on that edge, but if you think about math problem solving, that's reading and then deciphering or making a plan as to what you're going to do with those numbers. And so right there we're at 86, and so that reading weighs so heavily on throughout all of his achievement areas or academic areas. Okay, written language, a 92, and so that's in the average range. And so what we were expecting him to do was write quickly, formulate sentences very quickly, and so I believe those words were already given to him, and he just has to sort of rearrange them and put them together. And so it's not necessarily him recalling vocabulary in order to create sentences so much as, which that is some piece of it, but another piece of it is quickly formulating a sentence. What's on the second page, and it didn't get in the chart, it got sort of cut off. It's oral expression. And here we have a score of 85. And again, that's right on that cusp of average range. And so here we were wanting him to sort of, I believe in that test, we were wanting him to recall and then use words to talk about what happened. And so it's again affected with vocabulary, his ability to use everyday language and talk. So if you talk to him all the time, you ask him questions about his day, and he just says, "It was good." A lot of us think, "Oh, that's just typical. My child doesn't want to talk to me." But in another light, it sort of is indicative of what he's recalling long term sometimes. And then listening comprehension, which this is the 83, which at the same time it's a deficit. But if you think about his ability, we already knew that he was really good at auditory processing, but I'm thinking, right, but not only that, but his recall of it, using the specific things that we were asking of him, the specific words we were asking him to use, or if it's repeating 5 words, if it's, say, cat, dog, frog, and 8, him saying that back to us and remembering it could affect this test right here. Okay. And so that's what we're looking at overall, and from there we had to decide based on these scores sort of where is he, what is he qualified for, what does this mean for him in the classroom. Okay, so if you turn to the back of your report, of this report here, sort of make some conclusive statements. If you want to share that with her, and that way I can look specifically. Okay.
Starting on.
It's not, the page numbers actually aren't. There are these page numbers on that one. Second to the last.
Yeah, we have.
Third page. Okay. So from here, we made some conclusions. Okay. So based on all of his areas of concern, we feel like we have to look at 6 different questions. Okay. The questions include. The questions include: Does his disability, do his numbers, his overall cognitive numbers, do they occur on a normal profile? For example, when we look at his numbers here, all of his cognitive numbers, we had an 86, we had, wrong page. We had all of these numbers here. When we look at this as a whole, do we see a some normal scores and then some very low scores? And so, yes, we do see that, okay? And so from there, does that affect his achievement, his areas of achievement? Yes, that does. Specifically, it affects his reading comprehension, math calculation, and I apologize. Look at every area. Basic reading skills. It did affect that. It did affect his reading comprehension and his reading fluency. And then also, it affected his math calculation. So the way that it works, we're looking to see, okay, he had a deficit in long-term memory. He had a deficit in comprehensive knowledge. And those areas specifically, do they have a direct effect on academic areas? And yes, they do. His comprehensive knowledge will affect his ability to learn vocabulary, answer factual questions, comprehend oral and written language. Again, it permeates throughout because comprehensive knowledge is sort of a all around what do you know, and it's what we call one of the heavy hitters with weighing out his overall cognitive ability. That sort of weighs really heavily. Aside from that, his long-term retrieval is going to affect his ability to recall information. In reading, you have to be able to recall information constantly and bring that forward and fluently do that. That means quickly do that. And so, yes, that's going to deeply affect those areas. Okay?
And even as he